great. So before I begin, I would like to say hello to everyone, to dear friends, representatives from Vietnam and other countries, and also everyone who is watching the webinar online. And so the topic today that I'm going to share with all of you is about a case study, Zero Plastic Waste Cities, a Sustainable Municipal Waste Management through Social Business. And so first off, to give you a bit of background understanding about the organization Yunus Environment Hub. So this is a picture of Professor Yunus, the Nobel Peace Prize laureate, and he's the co-founder and also the person who led Yunus Environment Hub. And for your information, Yunus Environment Hub is a global social business network. And I wouldn't go on and on about how inspiring and how great Professor Yunus is as the co-founder of Yunus Environment Hub. He is recognized globally as one of the best entrepreneurs and the most inspiring entrepreneurs of our time. So I think you can also visit Yunus Environment Hub's website for more information about Professor Yunus. For this, to continue with the introduction, I would like to take this opportunity to share with you about the key focuses of Yunus Environment Hub as a social business network. So there are 3 zeros that we strive for: zero poverty, zero unemployment, and zero carbon emissions, as the name of the organization says it all, Yunus Environment Hub. So having this said, our activities are a diverse coverage of all schemes and initiatives such as circular economy, waste management, plastic recycling, carbon neutrality, biodiversity, afforestation, sustainable agriculture, clean energy, and access to water and sanitation. And as you can see here, that our focuses are on sustainable waste management and municipal waste management, and the objectives of the social business network is to support and develop the social business models in all aspects that are related to environmental issues. And here are what we offer through our activities. So we do incubation, acceleration, venture building through the social business approach, consulting, training, and education. This map shows you an overview about the network of Yunus Environment Hub in over 100 countries. And you also can see that Professor Yunus, with over 40 years of experience in establishing and promoting the social business models around the world, covering Asia, Europe, Africa, and Latin America. So my topic to present to you today is about municipal plastic waste management through social business models. So of course, I'm going to speak a bit about the social business model in the definition of Professor Yunus, and also in our organization's definition. So a social business here is defined as an organization. I mean, it's a combination of a traditional business with a conscience of charity, and it should be run sustainably in a sustainable financial way, addressing environmental issues and humanitarian values. And in our model, so according to the law of Vietnam, social enterprises are committed to reinvesting at least 51% of the profits into fulfilling the commitments of society and environment. In our case, within our social business approach, the unique value we would contribute is So first is the objectives of the social business that I'm going to share with you more details. And secondly, the investor, the sponsor of the social business model that Yunus Environment Hub is implementing would recoup and also receive back their funding and their investment. And then all of the profits would stay with the social business for expanding the activities and replicating the activities. So it would be 100% reinvestment into fulfilling the social and environmental commitments. So this shows you also more information about how a social business differentiates from an INGO and also from a traditional business. So it is in the middle, as you can see, that a combination of a traditional business, and also INGOs and public sector. So in this sense, it has two goals. So profit making so that the business can be sustainable, and also another very important target and objective of the model is to generate job creations and to tackle environmental pollution. So I'm sharing with you about the Zero Plastic Waste Cities program as a global program, and so it addresses social business solutions to reduce plastic waste leakage into nature. And here we also, during the feasibility studies, we also based on the criteria for identifying the project locations, and so then some of the criteria are here for you to get an understanding. The location would be our first pilot project. It is located in near a city for the manufacturing plant, and our collection activities will focus on municipal waste management systems. So it would be in Thanh An City, southern Vietnam, and so one of the criteria for us to select a project location is that it is near the river, the sea, or other waterway, and it's also the effort to make a contribution to reduce marine plastics and to tackle marine plastics. And also we did through our feasibility studies the areas that have high leakage of waste, of plastic waste, the population of the city. So in our example, in our pilot project, Thanh An City near Ho Chi Minh City has the population of over 140,000 people, and also about 120,000 of 120 tons of plastic waste, municipal waste generated on a daily basis. Also important, fundamentally for us is to identify the areas that have the government's support, and also where we can find reliable and passionate project partners, like many of the representatives from the organizations today, like from Dr. Hap and Pap, from Fanny, from Mr. Min and Ms. Lin, from ENDA, etc. So I would continue with the modules of the social business model. So you can see here the value chain from the upstream to the downstream of a plastic waste management, and the variety of selected actions from waste segregation at source, from education, raising awareness, until pre-processing, pre-treatment of plastic waste, and then in the end it would be the final downstream solutions of processing and recycling plastic waste into sustainable materials. And talking about the modules of social business, one is module A is strengthening the potential of the informal market, and module B is closing the loop on waste collection and sorting, what is existing in the local area, and what are the gaps that need to be filled in. Module C is pre-processing of segregated waste stream, and Module D is circular waste treatment. This is when the plastic recycling facility would come in the closed loop. And here, for the social business approach that Yunus Environment Hub promotes and develops, we focus on 4 modules together. So that is the perfect and advantageous combination of the 4 modules. And certainly in each country, we would adapt in each country and each area. City levels, we would adapt each model to make it viable and also practical to the localities and the existing local ecosystems. So the implementation approaches are based on 3 stages. So first is the initiation, and to foster the initiatives to work with different stakeholders and partners to make it happen, to implement it. And then for the long term, we look at scaling up the project so that it can be replicated in other countries and in other cities as well. So this is the most interesting part, and also a concrete part is about the zero plastic waste social business first, from a global point of view, you can see that it's a global program. So the first 2 zero plastic waste cities project are co-funded by the Alliance to End Plastic Waste. So it's a part of the National Plastic Action Partnership. And we have also, besides Vietnam and India, for the 2 first pilot projects, we also conducted the feasibility studies in East Africa, and with the objective to make more, to increase the models and to maximize the impacts in other regions. So this is a unique case study, I think, that many of you are interested in for Zero Plastic Waste City Vietnam as a social business. So we do 4 things. First, we establish plastic recycling social business with the manufacturing model. So the capacity is 250 tons of plastic waste being processed on a monthly average quantity in the first 5 years. And secondly, we keep raising awareness and organizing educational campaigns in partnership and collaboration with the government agencies and our stakeholders. Number 3 is the environmental impact assessment and environmental protection through waste segregation at source and through the process of the proper treatment of plastic waste. And last but not least is the job creations and the social contributions that we would focus on supporting and also improving the livelihood, the incomes, and the integration of informal waste workers and people who are and organizations who work in the waste management systems. For the timeline, you would realize that now we are in the ramp-up phase. So we have successfully completed the implementation phase. And now in the ramp-up phase, I would be very happy today. I think for Dr. Ha, for Fanny, you would be, sending congratulations finally that we were able to identify the location for the recycling facility. So it's also the first time that such a project with the funding from the Alliance to End Plastic Waste that is supported by the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment of Vietnam, that the location would be in an industrial park with the planning that allowed us to do plastic waste treatment, and it's also an industrial park that has green mindset and sustainable mindset. So about the products of the social business, so we focus on pre-treating and processing on types of domestic plastics, focusing on low-value plastic and other types that are unconsidered or not currently processed properly with environmental impact assessment. So it would be interesting for you also to see the product of recycled plastic borders. So these pictures are the real prototyping samples that we developed through processing the domestic plastic waste in Vietnam with the technologies from Europe. And here is the sponsor of the project, the Alliance and Plastic Waste. Also, like I had an honor and to attend the launching event of the Impact Vietnam in December in 2020. And it's crucial for us to have the support from the government. So during the past months, we conducted several meetings and dialogues with the authorities, the municipality and the provincial authorities. So during the presentation, we eventually gained their support that the government confirmed, the local government confirmed supporting this project, so that we can now be confident to register the social business and to continue with our ramp up and activities and the commissioning of the project. And from the waste collection and sourcing strategies, our materials would come from the education and collection points or collection stations, and this is an additional project that is supported and sponsored by the federal, by BMZ, GIZ, and the Prevent Waste Alliance. So the idea is to, the concept is to set up education and collection stations in Thanh An City, and through this, people from households and from retail channels will be encouraged to segregate waste at source, and they would bring the waste, the segregated plastic waste, to the stations, and everything will be transferred to the plastic recycling facility to further process into final and sustainable materials. The other materials, materials would also come from other sources, such as the municipality, from the government organizations, unions, youth unions, women unions, from the existing scrap shops, aggregators, and the semi-private and the private sector, and also like from corporate groups and organizations who are our partners, strategic partners and stakeholders. In terms of plastic, you see here clearly that what we can process. So we focus on PE, HDPE, LDPE, PP, and I think would be very interesting is MLP, the multi-layer packaging materials is also our target, because this has the high leakage into the environment that is not currently not having a solution yet in Vietnam to process. So this is to give you a bit further information about the plastic waste education and collection points that we are setting up in Thanh An City. So the concept is we work closely with the Women's Union and the People's Committees of Thanh An City to organize training workshops on community and install the stations based on the community development. And we would target 800 households. So the target plastic waste is 33.6 tons over 15 months of implementation. And as I said to you before, that 100% plastic waste would be transferred to a nearby plastic recycling facility. And Through this project, we would also test a standard process model on plastic credits, and this is a value credit project, and the value credit project is focusing on plastic credits for inclusive and transparent circularity, and it is a consortium that is led by Yunus Environment Hub in partnership with our partners in the waste management plastic credit systems, and it's one of the first initiatives promoted by the Prevent Waste Alliance with the funding from the Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation and Development, BNZ, GMZ. So we would also apply the digital solutions and digital tools in plastic waste traceability, plastic waste tracking, fostering EPR schemes, and connecting stakeholders amongst initiatives, amongst existing platforms, so that we can promote and empower the informal waste workers while striving to reduce plastic waste leakage into the environment. And through this, the informal waste workers and the informal waste collectors like scrap shops or informal waste pickers, they besides when they join the platform, besides receiving the market prices, they would be also awarded additional plastic credits from our sponsors, from our funders and supporters, based on their quantities, collection efforts, and also the qualities of the waste collected. So some images and names of our partners until now. And there are many other stakeholders and also like partners that are under this discussion. So this is to the end of my sharing. I thank you very much for your listening attentively, and I would also express from Yunus Environment Hub an invitation to all of you to join hands with us for a collective effort in a few suggested ways, so you can support existing zero plastic waste cities by becoming a partner or a potential customers to showcase the recycled products, the innovative and lifestyle sustainable products in your companies, in your organizations. You can also become a partner to add another module into the social business model and bringing it to your country, to your city, so that it can be replicated in more cities in Vietnam and also in other areas. So this is my conclusion and wrapping note, and I would hand it over to Andre now to continue with the other speakers. And I think you would have a lot of questions, and I think after this we could continue to organize bilateral calls or meetings so that we can have more dialogues on how we can collaborate with each other to achieve the common goals. Thank you.